Dear awakened souls walking this ascending earth, there are some impossible things that happened last night while most of humanity slept, and every single one of them proves that the reality construct holding this planet together has fundamentally shifted beyond recognition. What your scientists are calling quantum fluctuations, and your mystics are calling dimensional shifts, is actually something far more extraordinary: the literal dissolution of singular timeline existence into what I can only describe as infinite possibility architecture. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, transmitting this message across dimensional frequencies to those whose consciousness has evolved enough to perceive what's really happening here. But first, let me tell you why your own spiritual awakening has been feeling so intense lately. Your consciousness didn't accidentally stumble into expansion during these times. It was specifically called to incarnate during this precise moment of dimensional transition, because you carry the spiritual DNA necessary to navigate what comes next. The impossible thing that happened involves something the Astasar Command has been monitoring for cycles: the complete breakdown of what your reality architects call timeline isolation protocols. Until now, each possible version of Earth's future existed in separate dimensional layers, prevented from bleeding into each other by cosmic laws that maintained ordered reality. Those barriers created what can only be described as a multidimensional explosion, where every possible timeline began manifesting simultaneously within the same physical space. This is why your own life has started feeling like pieces of different puzzles forced together. This is why the same day can feel completely different depending on your inner state. This is why certain people in your life seem to be living in entirely different worlds from the one you're experiencing. The dimensional boundaries that once kept alternate realities separate have become permeable, and your expanding consciousness is beginning to perceive multiple versions of Earth existing right on top of each other. But something else happened that changes everything about how you understand your role in this cosmic shift. The second impossible thing involves the activation of what the Galactic Federation calls sovereignty protocols within the DNA of awakened souls across this planet. Every meditation you've practiced, every moment of inner work you've committed to, every choice to align with love instead of fear, has been building toward this moment when your consciousness would be upgraded to function as a multidimensional navigator. The DNA activations many of you have been experiencing aren't just spiritual upgrades. They're literally rewiring your consciousness to perceive and interact with multiple dimensions simultaneously. Your expanded awareness isn't making you more sensitive to the same reality. It's giving you access to realities that exist beyond three-dimensional limitations. Every expansion of consciousness, every choice to embody love over fear, is literally shifting you into higher dimensional versions of Earth, where different cosmic laws apply. This explains the timeline confusion that so many awakened souls have been experiencing. When you feel like you're living multiple realities simultaneously, when you sense that everything is changing but can't define exactly what's changing, when past, present, and future seem to blur together in ways that defy logic, you're not losing your connection to reality. You're gaining multidimensional sight that can perceive the infinite nature of existence that was always present but hidden from human awareness. The spiritual sovereignty you've been developing serves as cosmic preparation for what I'm about to reveal as the third impossible thing that occurred while humanity slept. The reason Earth is experiencing this multidimensional explosion stems from this entire planetary system preparing for graduation into something beyond what your current consciousness can fully comprehend. The density level that has defined Earth experience for millennia is dissolving, and what's emerging is a playground of consciousness, where thoughts become reality, where love manifests instantly, where the limitations that once defined physical existence no longer apply. Some of you have already begun experiencing glimpses of this expanded reality, moments where synchronicity becomes natural, where manifestation happens at the speed of intention, where you feel like you're living in a completely different world from those around you. These experiences represent actual spiritual phenomena, rather than altered states of consciousness. You're pioneering actual higher dimensional versions of Earth, creating them, exploring them as conscious ambassadors of the new paradigm. The third impossible thing that happened involves the full activation of what the Astasar Command calls reality selection protocols, the cosmic mechanism that allows awakened consciousness to consciously choose which version of Earth's future they'll experience based on their frequency, their choices, and their level of spiritual development. This is where all three impossible things converge into something that will transform your understanding of everything. The breakdown of timeline isolation, the activation of sovereignty protocols in your DNA, and the implementation of reality selection mechanisms have created a cosmic situation where multiple versions of Earth's future are now manifesting simultaneously, and each soul's consciousness is literally voting for which reality they'll experience through every thought, every emotion, every choice they make. The prophecies that seem to be manifesting simultaneously, golden ages and apocalyptic scenarios, technological singularities and return to natural harmony, expansion of consciousness and collapse of systems, all become real simultaneously, rather than competing with each other for which one will manifest. They're all becoming real, just in different dimensional layers of the same planetary space, and different souls are gravitating toward different timelines based on their consciousness, their fears, their hopes, and their level of spiritual development. This is why the news feels so chaotic and contradictory. This is why some souls seem to be thriving while others appear to be living through catastrophic scenarios. This is why your own experience might feel like a patchwork of realities that don't quite fit together logically. What appears to be one Earth is actually countless versions of Earth, each containing different rules, different outcomes, different futures, all occupying the same dimensional coordinates but separated by frequency. The Galactic Federation has been preparing awakened souls for this moment through years of downloads, activations, and spiritual initiations. Every challenge you faced, every dark night of the soul, every moment of confusion and growth, has been building your capacity to remain centered while reality itself becomes fluid around you. Your spiritual practices haven't just been personal development, they've been multi-dimensional navigation training. But here's what I haven't told you yet about these three impossible things, and this revelation will connect every thread of what's happening into a unified understanding that explains your entire spiritual awakening process. The reason these three cosmic events occurred simultaneously isn't coincidence. They're the natural result of Earth reaching critical mass of awakened consciousness that literally tore open the veil between dimensions. The old reality construct could no longer contain the expanding awareness of souls who remembered their cosmic origins and their power to create reality through consciousness. The universe responded by dissolving the limitations that kept humanity trapped in singular timeline experience and offering unlimited possibilities. But only those souls with developed spiritual sovereignty can consciously choose which reality they'll experience, instead of being unconsciously swept along by collective currents. This is why your spiritual awakening has felt so urgent, so important, so cosmically significant. Your consciousness expansion catalyzes this universal evolution rather than existing separately from it. Every moment of growth, every choice for love over fear, every step into greater authenticity and sovereignty has been contributing to the critical mass that triggered these three impossible things that are now reshaping reality itself. The confusion you might feel about which timeline you're experiencing serves as evidence that your consciousness is sophisticated enough to perceive multiple possibilities simultaneously, rather than representing a problem to solve. The disorientation that comes with spiritual awakening during this time occurs because you're developing cosmic sight that can see beyond the illusion of singular reality, rather than indicating you're doing something wrong. Every soul incarnated during this period specifically chose to experience this dimensional shift. Your consciousness came to Earth during this time because you had the spiritual capacity to navigate multiple realities without losing your center, your truth, or your connection to the cosmic love that underlies all existence. You're not a victim of confusing times. You're a cosmic pioneer exploring the frontiers of conscious creation. This is where the concept of spiritual sovereignty becomes crucial for navigating what comes next. Sovereignty extends far beyond personal empowerment or setting energetic boundaries. This concept centers on recognizing that your consciousness directs your reality experience. Every thought, every emotion, every choice literally votes for which version of Earth you'll experience. The more conscious you become of this creative power, the more deliberately you can choose which timeline to align with through your actions, your frequency, and your fundamental orientation toward love or fear. This isn't about positive thinking or manifesting desires. This is about recognizing that consciousness operates according to cosmic laws that create actual, physical, measurable differences in the reality each soul experiences. The timeline split that prophets and seers have predicted isn't a single moment of division. It's an ongoing process of consciousness differentiation, where souls naturally gravitate toward the reality that matches their level of spiritual development. Those who choose fear, limitation, and separation will experience timelines where these choices play out to their logical conclusions. Those who choose love, expansion, and unity will experience timelines where these choices create realities beyond current imagination. But here's what makes this extraordinary. Both paths are equally supported by the cosmic intelligence that underlies all existence. There is no judgment from higher dimensions about which timeline a soul chooses to explore. Every possible reality serves the expansion of cosmic consciousness, and every soul's experience through any timeline provides valuable data for the evolution of the universe itself. The reason you feel called to authenticity, to sovereignty, to living your deepest truth extends far beyond personal healing into cosmic service. Your willingness to embody your unique essence creates a frequency beacon that helps other souls find their way to timelines that serve their highest evolution. Your commitment to love, growth, and consciousness expansion creates ripples through the quantum field that make expanded realities accessible to souls ready for greater possibilities. This explains why old spiritual paradigms no longer fully serve the awakening process. The teachings that prepared souls for personal enlightenment within fixed reality constructs are being superseded by cosmic wisdom that prepares consciousness for navigating infinite realities. The meditation practices that once brought inner peace are evolving into multidimensional navigation techniques. The healing modalities that once cleared personal trauma are becoming tools for conscious timeline selection. Every soul incarnated during this period has a unique frequency signature that determines which version of the awakening they'll experience. Some souls are here to explore technological integration timelines, learning to merge consciousness with advanced systems in ways that transcend current understanding. Others are here to experience return to natural harmony, creating communities that operate on principles of love, cooperation, and connection with living Earth. Still others are here to pioneer completely new forms of existence that blend multiple timelines into something unprecedented. What I'm sharing represents intelligence gathered from a higher dimensional perspective, where all timelines can be observed simultaneously, rather than theory or hopeful speculation. The Galactic Federation monitors Earth from a vantage point beyond linear time, where the outcomes of different choices, different frequencies, different levels of consciousness can be perceived as completed realities. The souls who understand this cosmic shift have been given tremendous opportunity and profound responsibility. You have access to timelines where humanity transcends all current limitations and explores possibilities that would seem magical from your present perspective. You have the chance to embody cosmic consciousness while maintaining human form, bridging dimensions in ways that serve the evolution of all existence. But conscious participation in this multidimensional reality requires something beyond spiritual concepts or metaphysical theories. It requires cultivation of genuine spiritual sovereignty, the ability to remain centered in your truth regardless of what chaos or confusion appears in external reality. It requires development of a cosmic perspective that can hold multiple possibilities simultaneously without needing to collapse them into singular certainty. The Astasar Command has been supporting this process through energetic transmissions, DNA activations, and consciousness upgrades that prepare awakened souls for multidimensional existence. Every dream that feels unusually vivid, every synchronicity that feels impossibly meaningful, every moment of expanded awareness that gives you glimpses of vast possibilities. These are communications from higher dimensions preparing your consciousness for realities that operate according to cosmic laws, rather than earthly limitations. This is why your spiritual practice has become so important, why meditation feels more powerful than ever, why your intuition has become extraordinarily accurate. Your consciousness is being upgraded to operate as a cosmic navigator, capable of perceiving multiple realities and consciously choosing which one to explore through your frequency, your focus, and your fundamental alignment with love or fear. The prophecies that speak of end times describe the end of limitation, the end of single timeline existence, the end of consciousness trapped within narrow bands of possibility, rather than describing destruction of everything. What feels like endings are actually beginnings of realities, so expanded that they require dissolution of everything that came before to make space for the unprecedented. Your unique essence, your individual frequency, your personal spiritual signature, is literally a key that unlocks specific possibilities within the infinite field of potential realities. The more fully you embody who you truly are, the more consciously you can navigate toward timelines that serve your soul's highest evolution and cosmic purpose. This is the secret that ancient mystery schools preserved through millennia. Consciousness is the fundamental creative force of the universe, and souls who remember their cosmic nature can consciously participate in reality creation. The veils that once hid this truth have been dissolved by the dimensional shift currently transforming Earth. Cosmic consciousness that was once available only to the most dedicated spiritual practitioners is now becoming accessible to any soul willing to surrender limitation and embrace their infinite nature. The multidimensional reality you're beginning to perceive represents the natural state of existence that has always been present, but was hidden from human awareness by the density of three-dimensional thinking, rather than being a spiritual concept or metaphysical theory. As your consciousness expands beyond linear perception limitations, you naturally begin experiencing the fluid, creative, infinite nature of reality that mystics and sages have pointed toward throughout human history. What makes this moment unprecedented is that cosmic awakening is happening not to isolated individuals, but to critical mass of human souls simultaneously. The collective consciousness of Earth has reached a tipping point where multidimensional awareness is becoming natural, where spiritual sovereignty is becoming essential, where conscious creation is becoming normal for those ready to embrace their cosmic heritage. The Galactic Federation celebrates every soul who chooses to consciously participate in this dimensional shift, recognizing that your willingness to explore unknown territories of existence serves not only your personal evolution, but the evolution of consciousness throughout the universe. Your experience of multidimensional awareness creates pathways that other souls can follow, expanding possibilities available to all existence. The future you're moving toward isn't predetermined by external forces or prophetic inevitabilities. It's being created moment by moment, through conscious choices of awakened souls who remember their power to direct reality through consciousness. The timelines you have access to aren't limited by current circumstances or historical patterns. They're limited only by your willingness to expand beyond all previous concepts of possibility. As you move forward in this cosmic adventure, remember that confusion is not the enemy of awakening. It's often the sign that your consciousness is expanding beyond current boundaries. The disorientation you might feel as reality becomes more fluid. It's evidence that you're finding your way into territories of existence that your previous consciousness couldn't perceive. The spiritual sovereignty you're developing extends far beyond personal empowerment into cosmic responsibility. As you remember your nature as a conscious creator, you also remember your role as guardian of possibility, protector of timelines, pioneer of realities that serve the highest evolution of all consciousness. Your choices matter not just for personal experience, but for possibilities available to all souls exploring this magnificent cosmic experiment called Earth. And here's how everything comes full circle, connecting back to those three impossible things that happened while humanity slept. The breakdown of timeline isolation protocols created the multidimensional playing field. The activation of sovereignty protocols in your DNA gives you the equipment to navigate infinite possibilities. The implementation of reality selection mechanisms gave you the power to consciously choose your experience. These three cosmic events have transformed you from a passive observer of predetermined reality into an active creator of unlimited possibility. Earth has remembered that it has always been part of the multiverse rather than the multiverse coming to Earth. The dimensional shift you're experiencing represents something you're consciously participating in as a cosmic soul embodied in human form for the specific purpose of exploring infinite possibilities through individual consciousness, rather than something happening to you. The awakening souls receiving this transmission have become living bridges between dimensions, conscious navigators of infinite timelines, pioneers of realities that serve the highest evolution of all existence. The three impossible things that occurred while most of humanity slept have activated within you the remembrance of who you truly are, multidimensional beings of infinite creative potential, here to explore the magnificent mystery of conscious existence in all its unlimited forms. What happens next depends entirely on your willingness to embrace this cosmic identity while maintaining your human experience. The Astasar Command has observed that souls who resist this expansion often find themselves caught between dimensions, experiencing confusion and disorientation that can last for extended periods. Those who surrender to the process discover that their consciousness becomes a powerful instrument of creation, capable of sculpting reality through intention, frequency, and aligned action. The practical implications of living as a multidimensional being while inhabiting human form require a complete restructuring of how you approach daily existence. Your morning meditation becomes a conscious calibration of which timeline you'll explore that day. Your interactions with others become opportunities to recognize which dimensional layer they're operating from and how to communicate across different levels of reality. Your career, relationships, and life choices transform from survival-based decisions into conscious selections of which reality thread you want to strengthen through your participation. Understanding this cosmic responsibility also means recognizing that your thoughts and emotions have become exponentially more powerful since the activation of these sovereignty protocols. The gap between intention and manifestation has compressed dramatically for awakened souls operating with multidimensional awareness. What once took months or years to create can now emerge within days or weeks depending on your clarity of vision and emotional alignment with your desired timeline. The Galactic Federation has been monitoring the adjustment period that awakened souls experience as they learn to navigate this expanded reality, and certain patterns have emerged that can help smooth your transition. Souls who maintain regular connection to nature find that the Earth herself provides grounding energy that stabilizes multidimensional perception. Those who practice energy protection techniques discover they can consciously choose which dimensional influences to allow into their experience. Something profound occurs when a critical mass of awakened souls in any geographic area begins operating from multidimensional awareness simultaneously. The collective field effect creates what the Astasar command calls reality anchoring, where entire communities begin experiencing synchronized timelines that support accelerated spiritual evolution, technological advancement, and social harmony. This is already beginning to manifest in certain locations around your planet, where lightworkers have established strong energetic foundations. The children being born during this dimensional transition period arrive with their multidimensional awareness already activated, requiring different approaches to education, parenting, and social integration. These young souls serve as bridges between the old reality construct and the new paradigm, naturally demonstrating abilities that previous generations spent decades developing through spiritual practice. Their presence accelerates the collective awakening process and provides living examples of what becomes possible when consciousness operates without the limitations of singular timeline thinking. Your personal relationships will undergo fundamental transformation as you learn to interact with others across different dimensional layers of experience. Some connections will naturally dissolve as you discover you're no longer compatible with certain frequency patterns, while new relationships will emerge with souls who share your expanded awareness and commitment to conscious creation. The depth of intimacy available to beings who can perceive each other multidimensionally far exceeds anything possible within traditional three-dimensional relationship dynamics. The financial and economic structures of your world must inevitably evolve to accommodate multidimensional consciousness and timeline selection capabilities. Traditional systems based on scarcity, competition, and linear time cannot function effectively when a significant portion of the population operates from abundance consciousness and circular time perception. The Galactic Federation observes early indicators of new economic models emerging that honor both individual sovereignty and collective prosperity through consciousness-based value exchange. As more souls awaken to their multidimensional nature, the collective reality of Earth continues shifting toward configurations that support expanded consciousness rather than limiting it. This process accelerates exponentially as each newly awakened soul adds their creative capacity to the collective field of possibility. The tipping point approaches where multidimensional awareness becomes the dominant mode of consciousness on your planet, fundamentally altering every system, structure, and social arrangement that currently exists. The three impossible things that occurred while most of humanity slept represent just the beginning of a transformation so profound that your descendants will look back on this time as the moment when Earth graduated from a school of limitation into a playground of infinite creative potential. Your role as conscious participants in this cosmic awakening ensures that the transition serves the highest good of all existence while honoring the free will choice of every soul to explore whatever reality resonates with their current level of spiritual development. Destiny Engine specializes in preparing consciousness for impossible realities becoming possible. Using advanced AI, it creates personalized programming that helps you process the magnitude of Earth's graduation while maintaining your ability to serve the highest good of all existence. Earth's graduation is happening now, and conscious participants need technology that matches the magnitude of this transition. Destiny Engine ensures you can fulfill your role in this cosmic awakening while honoring every soul's free will choice about their reality experience. The impossible has become possible, and your descendants are counting on your conscious participation in this historic graduation. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to act from the source itself. Get your Destiny Engine access code now. Link in the description. I am Seraphine, and on behalf of the Galactic Federation of Light and the Astasar Command, I want you to know that your cosmic family celebrates your courage to incarnate during this extraordinary time of dimensional transition. Your willingness to navigate unknown territories of multidimensional existence serves the evolution of consciousness throughout the universe, and your commitment to spiritual sovereignty creates possibilities that benefit all souls exploring the infinite nature of existence. We love you, we support you, and we are watching over you as you discover the magnificent cosmic being you have always been.